to 2025. This video was supposed to come out last November, but obviously nothing came out, and the lineup changed so that we got the Holiday Optimus Prime. But it's always a great moment to be thankful for quite a lot of things. Friends, family, girlfriends, giant metal robots. What? Just me? The Transformers 2007 movie is what brought me into collecting the robots in disguise. For the sake of brevity, what it narrows down to is the gracefully aged visuals, the action, and the robot designs. While the movie is faulty, like basically being an ad for the military or the sexualization of Michaela, this is still the better of the Bay films, because at least the movie doesn't start with a shot of some girl's ass going up the stairs. Because we totally needed that in a Transformers movie. The sequels are to be talked about another day, or that small little bit you just got. But they do get more convoluted in many, many unfortunate ways. Which then led to better movies. Well, a better movie, a mediocre movie, than like Shakespeare. A subline I'm most thankful for is Movie Masterpiece, because it gives Bayverse fans a moment to be self-indulgent as the G1ers have been since I was barely a baby. Well, that's certainly one way to make a lot of people feel old. Transformers Movie Masterpiece MPM-15 Brawl is the latest and final figure for the 2007 movie. Of course not accounting for Frenzy, who's been missing since like 2010? Poor guy. This figure is definitely one of my favorite purchases from 2024, and surprisingly, and I guess funnily, is my very first figure of Brawl. Figured I'd go big for my very first and asked for the Studio Series toy. I got him for Christmas, and wow! The Masterpiece takes what's there and improves upon it. This figure is pure class, and I'm pretty sure I said that about another figure at some point. I really gotta get a Thesaurus. I don't regret buying this guy because not only does he look as he does in the movie, he is engineered in a perfect balance of high-end glory and mainline ingenuity, because it takes a lot from the Studio Series toy. However, instead of starting in robot mode like I typically do, Brawl's tank mode is a modified M1A1 Abrams tank with his stellar paint apps of camouflage and sculpted details of the real-life tank like the rivets and minesweepers. I'm really grasping for straws on what to talk about, because what do you say besides, oh, it's a tank that Brawl transforms into? I don't know, it looks like how it does in the movie. Both tops of the tank rotate 360 degrees with moving barrels going up and down. The missile pods rotate because they're on 5mm ports. All weapons on the tank can have some emphasis because of the inclusion of blast effects. Too large, too small, and one of two firing missiles. The weapons for robot mode also store on this mode of the classic putting a gun on top of the vehicle. Strangely, there are two 5mm ports on the back side of the first top of the tank. Like, you see these and you think, what are they for? Because you could put the missile pods in there and that looks odd. Both modes cover them because obviously you have the tank like this, covers the 5mm ports, and then when you transform it, the arms cover the ports, so it's like, why are they there? Are they leftovers from the Studio Series, or they just, I don't know.
Alright, so let's transform Brawl from a tank to a robot. And this might take a while because it's a masterpiece figure and they tend to take a while. Well, not this one, this doesn't take that long as like MP-44 or Bone Crusher, because Bone Crusher does take a long time going from either mode. And I'm just delaying the inevitable by just talking. So let's just get it over with. So obviously you grab your tank. There's a little section of the tank treads, like the wheels, I guess that's what they are. You push it back, or well, you untab it and put it back. Then what you're going to do, you gotta untab these so that they'll just be hanging out. Then you're gonna go from this part, obviously bring it all the way extended out. Same thing on the other side. Then from here, you're going to grab this panel and just raise up this whole section. It would also help if you turn this turret top of the tank. Then what you're going to do is you're going to tab right here. So the whole this whole front section, like, because this turret is attached to this part, so you swivel the whole thing around. So now it looks like this. Next you're going to go up to right here. This is where we're going to form the chest. You're going to grab this tread and then just completely untab it and all that. Same thing on the other side. Then from right here, actually I should probably raise the camera. It's going to get a lot taller. So then you grab this section and this section, you untab it, so you'll now have access to his chest and head, and then this part. So you're gonna hinge it all the way around, so it's like this. Then you're gonna take this part, and you see there's like 3 tab sections in there. You're gonna go on the second one right there for robot mode. And then while you're tabbing that in, you're also going to push this part in. The figure will probably already do it itself, but this little middle section will go in, but it, for the most part, does it by itself. So you don't have to worry about that. So, okay, we'll just... So, take this little section, you notch it into behind there, and you pretty much have that settled. Next, you're going to open these chest panels, so it opens out like that, so you know. You take the whole head assembly, then you can bring it forward and tab it in into there. I think that one's kind of obvious. Make sure you fix things around. Okay, then you can put in these little sections, like, you know, just dangling around, push them in, all that jazz. Next, what you're going to want to do now is, I was about to say the arms, but actually we could do this now. So this little section, you just, what's the best way? You just untab it, do it like that. Just might as well get that over with now. So now we're gonna worry about the arms. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna untab it because it tabs into here. So you're gonna untab it from, you know, and then you could take this whole section, these 2 tabs, go into there. There you go. So now let's worry about the arm. So obviously I've already undone this. So you're gonna move this whole section behind his bicep. Take this section, bring it down, tab it in, bring it in again, and then on double hinge, bring it all the way back. This will tab into here, and then it'll tab in to right there. Okay, now go to the other side. You're gonna bring this panel up, so make sure that this one is underneath this one, and then also take this on double hinge, and then it's probably better if you do this one first, and then you do, hold on, then you do this one, and then use the top one to tab it in, because that's how that works. So you got one of the arms, and don't forget to bring out his fingies. Now that you got the other arm dealt with, let's worry about the back. So what you're going to do is you're going to fold in this little section, and then you're going to fold in this section, which now you're going to bring it down into here. But in order to do that, obviously, how do you do that? So this little, I guess it'd be better shown this side. Well, it doesn't matter because they're both in the middle. So there's this tab right here that I think it's focus on it. But yeah, there's a tab right there that the screwdriver's touching. And it's going to tab into this little section right here. Right here. It's attached to, oh my god, just to focus on it. Okay, yeah, right there. The screwdriver's touching. So you fold this in, then you bring it down, then it's going to tab into here. Just like that. It's the same thing on the other side. Fold it down. Fold it. Okay, there you go, never mind. But yeah, you do the exact same thing. Now you go to the little tank turret. There's this little section right here. You grab, fold it out, I guess. Then you also have to make sure that when you tab this in, this section has to be underneath these sections, which is not that hard to manage. So you just bring it in. I don't know how well you could see it, but you're then going to click it in there, and then I guess not that I forgot. Like, we could do this now, where you just fold in the tank turret. So you fold it in that way, fold it in like that, and then you fold it in against itself where it's tab in, and then you fold a little tip. So now we're going to worry about this section, the top turret, because this is for stability reasons. Well, for how he looks in robot mode and stability reasons. So you're going to grab this section with the missile pod. You can do it all the way till it like soft clicks in place, and then you could do whatever with the missile pods. Same thing on the other side. Oh, this undoing itself. Then you could fold this entire. Okay, now let me do it in order. So you fold this one up here, all the way up till it tabs in. Then you're gonna fold this little antenna thing, and then fold this forward, and that's pretty much that. So then from here, there's these two tabs here, and they're gonna tab in to the section, and there you go. That's the whole entire back piece and chest done. So now we gotta worry about the legs, which is gonna go by really fast because this is probably the most simplest section. So you undo this little bond here, untab the legs. Then you're going to grab this entire section, but also at the same time you're gonna bring down the foot, like so. We're skipping the order of operations here, Brawl. Then you're gonna untab this little section here from the, obviously from the thigh. Bring down this section. Then you're gonna fold out this section like outwardly. Because on double hinge, you're gonna fully. You gotta like notch it in there, and then you can tab in this little section. And then you take this entire. Make sure you fold the tank tread down, and then just bring it into itself. Now the foot, bring out the heel, because like this, because I didn't show it that good. You can fold out his little toes, or his big toes, I guess. Then these little parts of his feet. I don't know what those are. You can fold down this tab. It only applies to this section because there's no tab on the other side, because it's just the, I guess, the tab hole receiver thingamabob. I don't know. Then you're gonna grab this little claw thing, bring it all the way down. Then this little section you just fold up, and that's pretty much that leg. So you know the deal with the other leg. Alright, and there you go. There's Brawl fully transformed into his robot mode. I don't know how well I showed off everything. I like to think that I showed everything. Anyways, we're also not finished because we got to put his weapons on his person, because as you see his design in the movie, his weapons are a part of his body instead of he just holds them. So you take this one onto the side, tab it into this little section right here, and then same thing on the other side, obviously. You could flip-flop them, but that looks weird. Okay, so now Brawl's done as a robot. So, Brawl's robot mode is the powerhouse from the movie and looks a lot closer compared to the other two Masterpiece figures I have, at least in my opinion. The sculpting is intense from every single angle. I'm extremely glad that every corner is filled to the brim. The heft on this toy is another thing to praise, as he feels like a tank, being full of plastic in the torso, and of course in the die-cast parts that I only know are in the gas tanks in the feet, and the shins, and in his crotch.
The paint carryovers into the robot mode of the camo look and little blemishes of gold, mustard yellow wiring, and the yellow of the missile tips. I really enjoy the paint and decals mimicking battle damage like the bullet hole on his eyebrow and chest. So yes, I was one of the few people who really did enjoy the battle damage on the Siege figures. Brawl's accessories are his weaponry of the 4-barreled machine gun and the massive claw with the small machine gun attached. Also the missile pods that I've already mentioned. I don't even know how many times anymore. Once again, the blast effects are a thing you can use with the additional chest explosion from when that happened in the movie. Another thing that's not really a blast effect, but I guess you could sort of put it in the same category as the blast effects, is that Brawl also comes with an alternate piece for his left arm from when Ratchet cut his arm off. Too bad I don't have the Studio Series 2007 Ratchet anymore to really show that. Or the Masterpiece.
Of course, with it being an articulated figure, I think you could probably figure out what this part of the video is. Yep, we're gonna articulate Brawl, which he's not crazy articulated, but I think he's articulated enough. Like, especially from a big hunk of metal like him, who's just here to destroy stuff. Because that's all he did in the movie. First off, go to the head, get that light all up in his face, blind him. So it says it on ball joint, so he could look, I guess, all the way up. That's as far up as he can go. Look all the way down. That's kind of weird. Head tilts, of course. His mouth can open, which is amazing. I really like that because you could really add expressions to his whatever pose you put him in. Next are the arms. They're on a ratchet joints. Go 360. Try not to undo anything. But yeah, they're 360, fully ratcheted. They can go as far out they can go. This is low they can go. It's got a bicep swivel, which is tight, which is good. Well, I guess good to a fault, because it doesn't really allow ease of access for posing. So on the bicep, it could go inwards, kind of outwards. It's got an elbow swivel. His proper elbow bends. I think that's a 90. Yeah, that's about a 90. It could go the other way too, but I don't know. The hand, I think they're swivel. Yeah, he's got a wrist swivel, but due to how his arms are designed, doesn't really allow for him to do that. Because yeah, you could do this, but that looks awkward. So it's better to give him the gorilla arm look, because I think he does have that in the movie anyway. So it's like whatever. His fingers are articulated. So he's got a thumb, posable thumb. Well, it's just a swivel, hinge, I don't know. And then the fingers, he only has like 3 fingers. So his pointer finger is on one hinge, and then it's on another. Probably better, yeah, there you go. Then the other 2 fingers are conjoined, and they articulate the exact same way. Jeez. Oy. Also, before I move on, also he likes to squeak a lot when you like scoot him around just from his feet. I don't know what that, I think that might be from the heels. I don't know. Anyways, what I was going to say is that the missile pods can also move around because, as I said earlier, they are 5mm ports. Then you could move the back tank things, but you could also move these little sections because they're on ball joints, so you could realistically do whatever you want, but they just hang out. He's got a waist swivel, but it's not too crazy. It's really limited, but I'm just hitting this ring light constantly. But yeah, it doesn't go crazy. It's not that bad. It's not the end of the world. I mean, look what he has on his back. He wouldn't even have 360 anyways, even if it could. Oh shit! Oh fuck! Oh my god. Okay, now onto the legs, where their legs are ratcheted. They're probably the tightest ratchets that I could think of from this past year of toys that I've got. He's probably the strongest actually, no. Tidal Wave Rivals Brawl. But yeah, this is as far as they go forward. Oh my god, that sounds scary. This is as far back as they can go. These little sections could hinge. Yeah. The leg goes that far out. God. You got a knee swivel. Got a 90-degree at the knee. Then the feet, they have a swivel as well. They cannot go forward or back, and they also have a like slight hinge, like it's really slight. That is not deep, but that's okay. It's not really a crazy posing kind of guy, since all he did in the movie was die anyways. Get his arm cut off and die. Just like all the Decepticons in these movies, apparently, except Starscream in the first one, but I mean, then he dies in the Dark of the Moon, so it doesn't even matter. I don't know. You know, easy repaint for this figure is that they could do the desert version, which they haven't done in the studio series, so I doubt they're going to do that for the movie Masterpiece. So, yeah, that's Brawl. That's his articulation. It's crazy, like I said, but it's good enough for what he does in the movie, which isn't very much.
Transformers movie masterpiece MPM-15 Brawl is the standout figure from an ongoing toy line of being my first ever Brawl and the last of the 2007 cast. I've grown to not really care about accuracy, but I certainly appreciate that he is, because I think that might be the point. From having this figure, and of course the other two movie masterpiece figures, really makes me want to track down the rest of the 2007 bots, since those movie bots really hold a special place in my heart. I'm glad I got the Studio Series figure, but it really makes me appreciate the Masterpiece so much more, how vastly they improved the ideas of the Studio Series figure to give us the best Bayverse Brawl imaginable. As for the 2007 movie, I'm appreciative of what it's done for me to get me into Transformers, but I certainly recognize the 2000s-ness of it, and well, duh, it's been 17 years and personal values and morals evolve, but there's a lot to distance myself from the Bayverse movies. I'd rather have more strongly plotted movies like Bumblebee or Transformers 1 than, say, Revenge of the Fallen, for example, even though I do really enjoy that movie for how bad it is. However, I'm not going to stop buying the Bayverse toys because the designs I will never distance myself from. Are you kidding me? They're like my favorite designs of some of the characters, like Starscream. I could never say no to Bayverse Starscream compared to G1. G1 could go in the fucking dumpster. Bayverse Starscream? Always. Especially with the tattoos. That's like peak character design, in my opinion. Anyways, that's another video in the books, the very first of 2025, so we'll see where the year takes us, besides downhill, because of certain people joining the government. I'll see you in the next video, whatever and whenever that may be, because as I've been saying, making videos is an interesting hobby, and I still haven't decided what's next after Brawl, because we'll see.